We're out here in a top secret location near Toronto, Canada. We've gone international. This is a factory and office where they are designing, manufacturing, shipping, everything in between, mining containers, Bitcoin mining containers. These are plug and play products. You don't think it's as simple as they're just customizing some metal box. They're taking raw sheet metal using million-dollar machines, which we're about to walk in and look at, to design their own custom box that has a lot of engineering gone into it for maximum Bitcoin mining efficiency and logistics to enable earning passive income anywhere you can get the power and an internet connection, which is now made ridiculously easy with Starlink. Welcome to Digital Shovel. Oh, who got the code? We're breaking in. I'm Drew Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Behind the camera, who's normally behind a lot of the edits, it's Vincent, the Netherlands' finest, and also the newest Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Digital Shovel manufactures multiple products. Their Minipod M300, their latest creation called the Nanopod, which is actually why we got invited out here, which is very cool, very exciting stuff. And they have numerous other products and solutions. I'm sorry if there's a bit of noise in the audio, but this is a live factory and they're building. Digital Shovel's shipped out over 1,600 of their main product, the Minipod, and they hope to do the same with their new Nanopod. They've got a demo Nanopod running right here. For me personally, as a smaller scale Bitcoin and crypto miner, this thing is absolutely fascinating. It is designed from the ground up with single phase electricity in mind, all while being able to be wired on 208 three-phase, commonly referred to as, and then also 415 three-phase. 6 exhaust fans on the back, 3 intake awnings on each side of the Nanopod. They put these on to make sure that they were not recirculating any hot air back into the pod, which was something they basically learned in all of their testing. They've been working on these nanopods for nearly 2 years now, to my knowledge. Inside that Nanopod, they're running up to 27 full-size current generation miners. That's a lot of mining hardware. It's more than most miners will ever run. And if you need more capacity, buy 2 Nanopods, or simply buy their Minipod M300, which is bigger and can deploy 72 of the current generation Bitcoin and many other ASIC mining rigs like the S21 Bitcoin miner. So let's head upstairs to where they actually put these things together. Come on, try to keep up. Oh man, I get older, but I don't get more mature. I do get wiser, in my opinion. Oh man, so this place is huge. 80,000 square feet, and that's not including the top secret 3rd level that they're building that will probably push this place over, just guessing, looking at it, over 100,000 square feet. If you think Bitcoin mining is small business, then you're thinking wrong, because Bitcoin's putting out more than $50 million in new Bitcoins and transaction fees to Bitcoin miners every single day. And you can also do things well beyond just Bitcoin mining. You can run any ASIC mining rigs in here, like Doge miners, which Doge is putting more than $5 million out in daily mining profitability to those miners. Bitcoin mining is a $1 billion industry. I mean, look at the market cap of just BTC alone. Yeah, okay, sure, true. But then just look at the market caps garnered by these publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies. When I say Digital Shovel makes these in-house, I mean they make it in-house. Raw metal turned into the entire structure. Obviously, they make it, they powder coat it here, they put it together, they designed it, and then they also designed their own PDUs, power distribution units, that can run, we're in a Minipod right now, by the way, 72 miners, which you can see here on the outlets on the back of these PDUs. And to put it into perspective, them designing manufacturing, putting these all together and shipping them all out in-house, they don't have a competitor. There is no one else that I know of that's doing this. Not a single person, not a single company is making a comparable product for major mining farms. And beyond that, there's no one even close to making a single phase electricity solution like the Nanopod is. So their products and performance are unmatched across the board. And let me just tell you, I know this video footage will speak volumes, but being out here, seeing them work day in, day out, it's very impressive. Quite an achievement. And to be frank, intimidating. This went from a business that was basically working in a shipping container in the parking lot outside of this facility to being a Bitcoin mining behemoth. And they show no signs of slowing down. They're actually picking up speed and continuing to invest millions and millions of dollars, reinvest, I should say, because they don't have any investors, no outside VC money, entirely homegrown, but reinvesting millions of dollars into their tooling, into their employees, into their factory infrastructure, producing at least 8 Minipods a day and manufacturing capabilities that are up to 24 Minipods a day and scaling to produce well beyond that. This is, by no exaggeration, a very serious factory. Beyond just building the Minipod and the Nanopod and some of their other products, like you can actually see, actually right here, the I-300, which is like a stripped down Minipod that you deploy in like a warehouse environment where you're not actually just having like a standalone pod that goes outside. They also have in-house built switch gear that enables deployment of up to 10 Minipods in tandem, right? 5 going that way, 5 going that way. And just that easily, mining farms are now multiple megawatt mining farms, earning thousands and tens of thousands and more of dollars a day in passive income, but forget dirty dollars and fiat currency. They're mining Bitcoin, which is the hardest currency around as far as I'm concerned. Digital Shovel has broken down their production into multiple departments, as any factory does. Yeah, of course, sure. In particular, what stands out is, sure, we're in assembly and it's really cool, and it's probably my favorite part is basically a consumer to see the finished product and I'm like, oh, this looks awesome, I want one of these. But where I really get entranced is when we walk through all of these other departments and you get down to the nuts and bolts, to the R&D, the research and design, and just things like the engineering. They have an in-house engineering team of multiple people that are continuing to develop and refine their products as well as new ones. One thing that really sets these products apart is these PDUs, they're not dumb PDUs. Those are not just an outlet extender, but industrial grade. These are smart PDUs where you can remotely access them. You can remotely power cycle your gear. It gives you temperature readings on your entire mining environment, the cool side, the hot side. You can break it down by miner. It's an incredible setup to be able to manage your mining gear remotely. And if you don't know this, while mining farms are a big endeavor to set up, once you've got them running, they're basically good to go. The passive income thing is not a joke. And it's much more passive if you can remotely access your gear. Otherwise, if a miner goes down, you're driving to or flying to wherever that gear is to evaluate it and figure it out. And as someone who's been mining here for about 8 years, I can tell you that a power cycle fixes like 90% of problems. If a power cycle doesn't fix the mining rig, then and you didn't enter like the mining pool information wrong, something on it's probably broken. A fan broke. The power supply is gone from living to dead, or the control board has failed. And all of those are going to require on-site repair. So that remote power cycling capability is a huge value add. There's over 80 employees in Digital Shovel's factory, and they've had a clear emphasis on just being homegrown. Digital Shovel just turned 7 years old, and they still have most of their original employees, which is a huge testament to that they must enjoy what they're doing. They're growing with the company, they're having fun, benefits are good or something, or they just like blue because they're still here. All I know is I've had many jobs in my life, and most of them I wanted to get the hell out of as soon as possible. Except for VoskCoin. Shameless plug, you should subscribe. And fun fact, everyone who works at VoskCoin was previously a VoskCoin subscriber plucked out of our viewership community, including Vincent, behind the camera.
Loving it.
So, how do these things work anyway? You know that they make everything here, and it's a pretty big operation. I find it pretty cool and exciting. But what's like the basic functionality of this? So like, why would you buy one other than just like, oh, it runs Bitcoin miners or something like that? Their products more or less work the same, right? They're just made for different applications. They have intake vents, which you can see the huge awnings on the Minipod, and then these little baby awnings, smaller awnings, on the Nanopod. Inside these, it's pulling air into these units through the intake filters to keep your stuff clear, and then it's shot out the back, which is facilitated not only with the fans on the miner, but also the exhaust fans. Normally you'll see these miners that are, I should tap someone else's miner, but those are ant miners. And those are a very typical, if not most common, mining rig. But you can deploy any kind of hardware in these things. You just may need to adjust it some. And I say adjust it some, that would be like the orientation of how you're setting up the miner, or maybe you can't get as much density. At least with the Minipod. I've actually had my own Minipod for over 2 years now. And I think this Nanopod's so freaking cool, I'm absolutely gonna bring one back to my home state, Virginia, in the US of A, and deploy that on my mining farm. My point though is that you can work around limitations in the Minipod, and there's a lot of shelving, so it gives you a lot of options. The Nanopod is a much tighter footprint, and you wouldn't want to waste your space. And that's why one of the coolest features that the Nanopod has, that the Minipod does not, is that the shelving is adjustable. One of the way Digital Shovel is working on scaling, making more things, making better things, making things more consistently, right, is gonna be automation. I know, you're thinking this looks like Wally's dad or something. This is a robot, and there's many of them around us, including someone working with their welding robot. The point though being is that what really sets this operation apart, other than which honestly seems to be like some very tight-knit family style culture here, and startup vibes and adaptability, versatility, is going to be all of this reinvesting into all of this advanced equipment that allows them to produce so many things in-house and automate very many of those processes. For example, they're taking that raw sheet metal and they're bending it, they're cutting it, they're lasering it, they're welding it, they're manipulating it in every capacity to build basically everything that they need for their products that are entirely made out of metal or other non-flammable materials. There's basically nothing in their products that can burn other than like intake filters. And I mean, what are you gonna do there? You could use a metal filter, but in my experience, metal filters kind of suck. And it's quick and easy to change out a paper filter versus pulling out a metal one, cleaning it, letting it dry, and so forth. Beyond the metal manipulation, right, they're designing and building their PDUs in-house. Everything else in the pod, right, is more or less metal. They get a couple components that they don't manufacture in the why would I manufacture that category, like circuit breakers, plugs, right? Things that there's just no benefit and a lot of expensive tooling to make that. But it seems like honestly anything worthwhile to make, that they are making it here. And honestly, that is like so freaking cool. And beyond just being cool, that vertical integration is allowing them to scale and get their costs down, which will simply increase their profit margins and allow them to offer more competitive pricing on their products. So before you get the VoskCoin subscriber discount, which isn't a joke, it's a real thing. I campaign for the squad as always, which you guys know if you follow the content we make on here, you know, because I work on the VoskCoin YouTube channel full-time content creation. I also work on the VoskCoin mining farm essentially full time as well. That's where I spend all my time and focus. And whenever we get the opportunity, I always campaign for the best deals for you guys. We've done the same thing with Digital Shovel. If you see this, you want one, tell them you want a discount. Tell them you saw our video, whatever, like that's cool. I appreciate it if you mention our content, share our videos, it helps grow all that. But also, if you're gonna buy this, I don't want you to pay more than you need to pay. How much do these things cost? Of course, it's a question. You probably had it. It may just even be the elephant in the room, but let's address the elephant in the room. Looking at you. Basically, 25 grand for the Nanopod and about 45 grand for the Minipod. Volume discounts exist. If you buy a lot, you will get a better price. And that's also not accounting for the VoskCoin discount. And one thing I would love to get together, maybe I'll facilitate it or if someone else wants to tackle it, would be a group buy. So it would be like providing a big volume discount spread across say 10, 100 people that want either like the Nanopod and or the Minipod. And then that way you come in, you pretty much show up like a big client, but you're actually just a one-off, which would give you that ability to campaign for volume discounts. All I know is it's beautiful to see in-house manufacturing like this, and in a world dominated by Chinese production, to see a North American operation doing so much in-house that you would typically see take place in China and overseas manufacturing. It's very cool, it's very impressive, and I can't help but just want to support it. And honestly, it's been a lot of fun here. I've been joking that I'm the new intern, but I mean, this feels like a factory I could fit in, jump on a machine, start working on stuff. And this is just, I probably already said this, it sounds redundant, but just nothing short of absolutely impressive. So I hope you enjoyed the content. This is a speed run tour of the Digital Shovel Bitcoin mining container and other product factory. We're gonna have a lot of additional content here on the farm where we go very detailed, going through all of their machines, showing everything that they do, breaking it down from how to wire these to just everything in between. So if you want to basically see the extended version and also some pretty funny and crazy behind the scenes footage, please subscribe to the channel, check out our other videos, and as always, I appreciate you. Let's close this out in style with 10 seconds of sales. Thanks for watching.